what's this strange looking thing? A sort of elastic band or elastic cord with a knot in it. Yes, there's a granny knot there. But how has it been made? Well, if I tell you that if you put that under a microscope, you would not find any join there whatever. It's not been cut and joined with super glue. It's all one piece, and yet there's a knot in it, a granny knot. So how can that be made? So I'd like you to think about that while I show you the rest of the toys, but that one I'll come back to at the end and explain that it's possible to make something. There is a cut in it, I will say that, but it's no join. There's a cut, but no rejoining of it. And somehow we've achieved this. Come back to that. So I've just come back from Atlanta, from the Gathering for Gardener, where I had a wonderful time, 5 days, and many lectures, and these are the items, some of the items anyway, that I picked up. Some of them were exchanges, some of them were just wonderful things to show. This is one I've shown before. This is from the man himself who invented this, so this is the best version I've ever seen of it, of the ambiguous, let's see which one it is. Ambiguous, well, I'll do it that way first because it's more remarkable, I think. Ambiguous tubes, they call it. There's 2 tubes. Is it, or how many are there? No, there's 4 tubes. There's 4 tubes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the round circular tubes and all joined together. So what happens when you turn it through 180 degrees, something quite remarkable. Suddenly, unbelievably, turns into a square in the middle and 4 triangles on the outside with curved edges to it. Astonishing. How can that be? It's just an object, isn't it? But no, it definitely is 4 tubes, and that definitely is turn 180 degrees. A figure, a geometrical figure with straight sides, well, certainly the square is straight side, and 4 triangles on the outside. Something quite extraordinary. So the Japanese has been astounding people, especially at the society which every year measures and gives awards for the best optical illusion of the year. This was the one that won, and not surprising too. There's another item here which I picked up from a chap I've been corresponding with for ages. It's a beautiful glass prism, and it's got a nice picture of a sort of a gorgeous-looking palace or the beginning of it. Now, the actual item itself, would you believe, is just a prism of glass. That's all it is inside. It's got the detail been etched into the back of the glass, and on the front of the glass, it looks as though it's embedded inside. So it's a very beautiful object, but you're supposed to keep it here in the thing where it's on the display. And a very, very nice version of this wonderful art form of carving into the back of the glass so that the prism makes it look as though it's almost inside the glass. A very nice item from Ray Hall. I was very pleased to get that. More trivial stuff is this one here, which is one of the old spinners. Oops. What fun. It's actually, as you see from the bit that fell off, a cover to... It's sticky. A lollipop. Would you believe? And the guy says he sold millions to some of the departmental stores in America. So it's taken the old spinner that's everywhere, turned it into something that all the kids will want to buy because it's a lollipop. One here and another on the other end. Can't wait to see what flavour it is. A lollipop spinner. Better put that on because it's going to make everything sticky otherwise. Here's another optical toy. It's got a laser in it. When I turn it on, push there, laser light. But there's a little wheel here, which when you take the wheel and move it, it frees the little mirror that's inside, and the mirror quivers. It's on a tiny spring, and each time I tap this, you're getting the most extraordinary number of shapes and patterns from the mirror. The laser is quite steady itself, but it's hitting a small mirror that's sitting on a quivering spring of steel, and makes these wonderful shapes, and as almost you can hardly hold it still enough to let it go back to complete stillness, because my hand's got a slight tremble to it, I suppose. But a wonderful, remarkable version of a little laser toy. I love it. This is a bit complicated, but it does seem to work. It's a way of encrypting. I've got 3 sheets eventually, but I'll just show 2 of them. There's patterns all over it. The idea is you've got a message hidden in there which you can't read until the person who receives it puts another sheet over it. And then when you put the 2 sheets on top of each other and get the register just right, a message will appear. Well, this one's not a message, it's just a simple picture. I go to the 4 little L-shaped pieces in the corner to try and get what they call registration, where the pieces are dead on centre. Is that going to be there? Almost. Not quite. No, that one's got to go down a bit. That's got to come up a bit. That's got to go across there. I think it's going to be down a bit, or down and up a bit. It's eventually going to be a diamond, which is just about visible. Yes, there's a black diamond in the middle there, which wasn't apparent until you got the second sheet over it. And then all the pieces line up so that the blackness of the diamond appears in the middle of the picture. Tricky, but possible to make some very, very clever way of sending secret messages, cryptograms to people using that sort of material. There's a marvellous toy here, which is invented by Oscar van Deventer, and it just does that. But look at the effect, extraordinary. A lot of gear wheels. He does love gears, old Oscar. And you spin it this way, and then you spin it the other way, and then it gets caught up, so you actually have to free it yourself, and you can spin it horizontally as well. But I find it doesn't seem to want to complete its cycle so easily. So I've only just got it, now I feel I've got to do a lot more playing with it to see if I can see all the effects, but it's a beautiful, beautiful fiddly toy with a nice effect of gears and a sort of whip effect. Beautiful. Very pleased to have that. This is a nice one. It's a Rubik Cube, would you believe? And it's only a 2x2, which makes it easy, but it's fun to do because when you take the legs off, it's just a little pony. And now the pieces will turn just like a Rubik Cube, but only 2 pieces here, 2 pieces there, and the 4 at the back. So it's an easy one to get back to 0. Well, I don't know about that. You can get it surprisingly muddled up. And then we've got eyes on both sides, and we can muddle it up a bit more like that. It's not too difficult. The 2x2 is something I can just about cope with. I can't cope with the 3x3s, but eventually you end up with a figure fully formed and put it back on the pony. So I'm going to have a bit of fun with that, reminding myself what the sequences are to solve a 2x2x2 cube. Fun, like that. I should enjoy doing that. This is another one of these double toys where you've got 2 things. You've got clackers, okay? You've also got a very nice bubble wand thing in the base here, and it works quite well too. Just, where's the, oh I see, I'm doing this bit here. That's better. Beautiful bubbles, superb. So another double toy for my collection. 2 different things, clackers and a bubble, and a nice bubble one too. And I can easily get some more bubble mixture when I run out. So I shall enjoy doing that. Good one. The next item is an iTop. I've been waiting for about 5 years for this to come back in again, and they've made some improvements to it too. It's a spinning top, but hang on a sec, to make it work, you've got to lift this up like that, click, then it spins. And we're starting to get some electronics there, which is recording the number of turns, would you believe, the number of revolutions it does. It's got a score of the previous highest score. So there's about several games, but the most interesting 2 or 3 are to spin it as fast as you can to make it go for the greatest number of revolutions, to get higher speed, and also to set a target and try to get near the target as well. How can it work? Every time it does a revolution, somehow it knows it's finished the revolution and records it. Well, the answer is inside. If I do a twist that way, and then a twist this way, and a twist, this is a secret, so don't tell anyone else, would you? That way, and finally a twist on this way. Look at that, the compass points, north, south, east and west. North here, south, west, east. Yes, there's a hidden magnet sitting inside there which is detecting as it's going round the Earth's magnetic field and recording a complete 360 degree revolution each time it finishes. So some marvellous, marvellous games coming out of this, which I've got to explore. So it's a brand new version of the iTop, and it's going to be, I think, one of my all-time favourite spinning top toys. Great stuff. So that's what I showed at the beginning. How on earth could this happen? Well, would you believe it's old friend Möbius. I was well aware that a Möbius band, when it's cut down the middle, creates it creates a big band. That's right. That one will create a big band when it's cut down the middle. If you do 2 twists, it creates 2 bands like that. But what I'd forgotten was when you twist it 3 times it's got to be, and it creates a knot. There's no knot in this one, this is only 1 trip, but it creates a granny knot at the bottom here, which is extraordinary. And that's what's happened here. This started off as, if I put it back into its original form, a simple rubber O-ring like engineers would use for putting on shafts to stop oil leaking out. And to solve it, you've actually got to, as you do with a penknife, you've got to cut and make a spiral, so it goes 3 times around that as you go round, and you get back to the beginning, and you end up with a ring with a knot in it, exactly as Möbius 3, as I call it, produces. So it's been cut, but it hasn't been rejoined. The cut has gone down the middle, and there's no rejoining to it. There's a most remarkable effect done by George Hart, which I've known for many years, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've got to now have a go myself. using a craft knife and something very, very firm to hold on it, and tried to reduce the number of cuts I make in my hands as I do it. But that's really quite a remarkable version of the Mobius band. It was a grand time I had at Atlanta, one of the best of the meetings I've had there. I think it's one of the high spots in my 2-year cycle. So congratulations to all those I met and from whom I got some marvellous things.